What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. As promised, I am here with my May TBR, finally. So I'm just gonna dive right in and show you guys the books that I'm planning to read in May. I'm not gonna say too much about this one because I've already mentioned it before. I originally planned to read this in April and just didn't quite get to it, but this is The Girl with the Latin Voice by Abby Dari or Dari or Dare. I'm really not sure how to pronounce her last name. But anyway, this was on my TBR for April. Like I said, didn't quite get to it, so I am moving it over into this month. I definitely think it's going to be hard hitting, but I have heard some very good things, so I can't wait to get into it. The next book that I'm gonna read is Shhh. I ordered this as a present for my mom for Mother's Day, but I want to read it first. So I'm going to be diving into this right away because I have to read it before Sunday. But this is Love Without Borders by Angela Braniff, and I don't know a ton about her. I believe she runs a successful lifestyle mom YouTube channel, but her family has done a lot with adoption. They have a lot of kids, and adoption is something that's really close to their heart. So I'm very interested in reading her story. The reason that I got this for my mom and why I also want to read it is actually because my youngest sister is adopted. She's actually 20 years younger than I am, and adoption is something that's really big on my family's heart too. So I just am really excited to read about this family's story. And yeah, like I said, I'm secretly digging into this before I give it to my mom for Mother's Day. It's only 200-ish pages, so hopefully I can breeze through it in a day. The next couple of books are books I picked up from the library when I knew we were headed toward quarantine, but we hadn't quite gotten there yet. And the library might be opening up in the next couple of weeks, so I need to get through these before late fees actually start accruing on them. The first one is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I don't actually know a ton of this book, but it has been on Bookstagram a lot, and it has been hyped, and I'm really, really curious to see what it's about. The Rules of Blackheath. Evelyn Hardcastle will be murdered at 11 p.m. There are 8 days and 8 witnesses for you to inhabit. We will only let you escape once you tell us the name of the killer. Understood? Then let's begin. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest. And some of his hosts are more helpful than others. The most inventive debut of the year twists together a mystery of such unexpected creativity it will leave readers guessing until the very last page. So it sort of sounds like Groundhog Day meets Clue. I'm excited to get into it. I think it could be a really cool mystery story. The next book is Misery by Stephen King. I'm about to admit something that almost feels like a bookish sin. I live in Maine. I used to live near Bangor, where Stephen King lives. I have never actually read one of Stephen King's books. I've driven past his house countless times. I have seen him on the street. My brother has bought him a Coke at the local corner store because he didn't have a bill that was small enough. But I've never actually read one of his stories. So I am diving in with Misery, which is, I guess, kind of more along the lines of thriller than some of his horror works. So I'm excited. I heard that this was a good one to start with, so this is where I am starting. I'm excited. I hope I like it, because it's Stephen King, so I'm supposed to like him, right? Again, it feels like I've committed some kind of bookish sin by waiting this long to read his stuff. Okay, the next book is the one for the Three Blondes and a Book club that I participate in every month. So this month we are reading Radio Silent Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I don't really know too much about this one. There's something about a podcast and then like mistaken identity or something. But again, I've heard good things, so I'm hoping I like it. I don't really like knowing too much about things that are like in the mystery thriller genre before I get into them. Or really any book, because it's like if I know too much going in, then I kind of already know what to expect from the plot. So I haven't done a ton of research on this one, but I'll let you guys know how it is. Alright, I've got 3 more books for this month. Again, kind of an ambitious list, but we'll see how things go. The first one is All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood. And I know that this is about a Midwestern town that is kind of at the heart of the opioid crisis, and there's meth labs around. And it sounds like a preteen or early teenage girl falls in love with a guy in his 20s. And there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this book. And whenever there's controversy, I just feel like I need to pick something up because I don't know, I just gotta know. Like when there's buzz, I just want to know what the buzz is about. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this one. I don't really expect to like it, but that's not really the point. I am reading this to figure out what all the buzz is about. I am also reading this month The 2 Lives of Lydia Byrd. This is about a girl who loses her fiance on her birthday, and she kind of has a double life between like trying to move on with her life, but at the same time she can basically like feel him and see him around, and she like interacts with him, and when she's asleep she sees him, and it's like she has these 2 lives. I am actually about 60 pages into this. I already started it because I've been anticipating this one so much, and I'm really liking it so far. It's definitely sad, but I think it's gonna start looking up eventually. We'll see, but I'm really liking it so far. The last book for this month was my book of the month for May. I honestly wasn't super excited about any of the 5 books that were chosen for May. I was probably just in a mood, I guess, when I went and looked at them, but I just, none of the books for May on Book of the Month really like spoke to me this month. So I went back and there were some like more popular ones that they said that we could choose from if we didn't like any of the 5 that were picked for this month. And none of them really spoke to me either, but I didn't want to skip the month. So I went with the one that spoke to me the most, and this is Summer of '69 by Evelyn, I'm not sure which, Hildebrand. And basically this is about a girl that goes to stay with her grandmother in Nantucket. And she's basically the youngest of the family, and everybody else is kind of off doing their own thing. There's a lot of political unrest with like the Vietnam War going on, and Chappaquiddick happens and all of that stuff. And so I think it's just kind of a coming of age story about her summer on Nantucket with her grandmother. So we'll see how this one goes too. It's kind of another ambitious list for me, but I'm hoping that I can get through all of these. I think I can. We'll see what happens, and I will let you know. The next video I'm going to do will be coming pretty soon, and it's just kind of a fun, non-bookish video about some of the things that I've been liking during quarantine. I'll see you guys later. Bye!